Hello guys, today in this video I'm going to be talking about Kamisato Ayato and I'll be talking why Primordial Jade Cutter is a better weapon for him rather than his standard weapon which was leaked by Ibacha, which is this weapon. This is on a Haran or some, I can't read the word actually. So I'll tell you why this weapon which is Jade Cutter is better. So firstly, he has received a massive buff recently where at level 10 the extra damage bonus he gets is at 1.11% of his max HP per stack. So this is his elemental skill. So whenever he attacks, apart from receiving the normal damage, he will also receive an extra damage depending upon his max HP. And you can have a maximum of 4 stacks, which is given over here. So therefore the maximum damage you can do according to the calculator is, let me just clear this, is 4.44 because it is 1.11, right? See, 1.11 multiplied by 4 because you can get max 4 stacks multiplied by max HP. Let's say the max HP is 20,000, so that will become like 200. So he will receive an additional 888 damage per shot. So rather than plus this, that means which is his normal damage. For example, his normal damage is 2000. So 2000 plus he'll receive an additional 1000. So that will be like a 3000 damage every single shot. Now this is at maximum stacks. Okay, so Jade Cutter, what will Jade Cutter do? That it will increase this HP by 20%. So his HP is now be increased. So this HP is not increased on the max HP. This HP is increased on his base HP. For example, his base HP is 13,000 at max level. As you can see, I'll even show you. His base HP is 13,000. So he'll receive 20% of that 13,000, which is 2,600. Okay, but this multiplier 4.4 which we calculated before will also go up. This 4.4 will become 4.44 plus 1.2. This 1.2 is been added because of this primordial jade cutter. That answer which we get will be multiplied by not 20,000. The HP is also increased, so it will be become like 22,600. Okay, so that's like a lot of, and I'll divide it by 100. So again, so now you can see compared to the 888 damage before, we receive an extra 400 damage. So I think that's amazing. So I think if you are having a C2 of this like Kamisato Ayato, I think only then the Jade Cutter will be better. Otherwise, it won't be better because his max HP is increased by 40% in C2, and if you don't have a C2 constellation, so for example, if you have like C0, so I think at C0 his standard weapon will be better. I'll tell you why this is. So his standard weapon at refinement 1, considering you're an F2P, will give him 8% and it will give him 5 stacks. So 8 5s are 40 and 12% extra damage. Okay, so 8 5s are 40%, right? So him, for example, just him giving his without the extra HP boost and all. So if he is just delivering his normal damage, which is at 104, let's say 2000 damage, and this thing will give 888 damage, so 2800. So with Primordial Jade Cutter, it is 3200 damage, like 3200. I think I got an extra zero. Yep, yeah. But with this thing, it will increase his damage by 40%. So you know what 40% is? So let's say his damage was 2000. So 2000 multiplied by 1.4, which is 40%. Okay, which is 2800. So 2200 versus 2800. So to be honest, his weapon is way better. This weapon is way better than Jade Cutter. But still, the title of the video is why is Jade Cutter better. So again, first reason is C2, because if C2 comes in and his HP is increased by 40%, that too is max HP. It doesn't say base HP. While this thing will only increase the base HP, it won't increase the max HP. So if you have C2, then at C2 20,000, which was his HP, multiplied by 1.4, which will give him like 28,000 HP. Now you can multiply this again by the value of the multiplier, which is 1.11 plus 1.2. It's a little bit math. I know it might be confusing a little bit. So let's just say 5.5. Let's round it up. So it's giving up more damage. So this thing, which is giving up more damage, is therefore better at C2. I didn't catch that. Could you try again? No, sorry, that was my CD. And it's okay. Just a second, guys. I had no idea this. Okay. So next up, I'll be talking about if you are at F2P and if you have to choose a weapon, I still think you should go for Primordial Jade Cutter because if you fail on this weapon banner and if you get some other banner, it's like totally bad. But for Primordial Jade Cutter, as per I've seen for Yei Miko is concerned, I think her weapon is totally useless. So to be honest, I think maybe it's your wish, yeah, if you want to take it or not. I want my pity, luckily, as an F2P. So I think I am happy with it. So it's a great weapon. And another thing why Jade Cutter is better is because it will offer you 44% crit rate compared to this being lesser. This thing is only, I'll show you, 33%. So you might be thinking that so what, crit rate is better, but 80k is also less. You might be saying that okay, but your 80k is less. 80k is only 42. But the thing is, the better weapon, it doesn't matter how good a weapon is it in its base unless someone is scaling off it. For example, if Bennett is there, so Bennett scales his attack bonus scales off of how much the base value of his weapon is. So for Bennett it is good. I need a high base value weapon sword. But for Kamisato Ayato, who scales off HP, it doesn't matter what your base attack is because if you have a higher crit rate, then you can invest on crit damage. And getting the secondary thing, you can invest more on better subtracts or better artifacts. So I really think that's why Primordial Jade Cut is better. And after 1 year, after any rerun, if you get it C2, then for sure this is better, Primordial Jade Cutter. But I'll tell you another last point why in all the scaling and everyone says this weapon is the best for him. It is because of the new artifact. The new artifact is somewhere it will increase your normal attack damage by 70%. So let's say 2000 watt was his normal damage and he just gave this simple shot, let's just say 100. So in 2000, if there will be a 0.7 addition increase. So that is like because of his artifact, which is the offering artifact. So it will give 3.4 damage. This thing into multiplied by more of 40%, which is 1.4. So this is like a extreme level differentiation compared to what the current Primordial Jade Cutter is giving. So even though it's a very niche weapon, but still I think Primordial Jet Cutter will be better for the long run, considering the fact that C2 doesn't change. The C2 is still the same, which is there. Okay, I'll just show you the C2 again. Yep, as you can see, Wave Flash maximum stat count is increased to 5. So again, giving you more HP damage, and his max HP is increased to 40. So there's a big difference between max HP and normal HP. Because if you are like just stacking HP on it like Huta or like Zhongli and you have like 40,000 HP, so that will be like 40,000 multiplied by, just imagine, 40,000 multiplied by 1.4, so that will be like 56,000 HP. And for this amount, if you're using the Primordial Jade Cutter, which gives 1.2k extra damage, it is like again, it's just like next level, you know. So yeah, I think this thing, that's why I say that this weapon is better for him on the longer run. If you are having or pulling more constellations on it, or if you want to spend more on it. As for the character, I think it's an SSSS tier character, Hayato. And do like and subscribe on my channel. I'll be putting and uploading videos more often if you like it. Thank you.